Cool. And we're live. How's it going, Snowflake crew? My name is Ben Gotfredson. I manage startup programs for Snowflake. Been with the company for over 7 years, so I joined it when it was a little startup itself. And cool part of my job is I get to talk with startups and early leaders at these startups that are working on really cool problems and tackling really important challenges. And I get to have a little small piece of that and how they use Snowflake. So sitting with me today is Veera. He's the CTO at Token Metrics. Veera, would love a quick introduction on yourself, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me here. I am actually a Chief Technology Officer at Token Metrics, and I've been working for Token Metrics for probably more than a year. And prior to that, I've been more into the data technology space for nearly more than 25 years plus. And Token Metrics is actually an AI-driven research platform for the crypto space.
Yeah. And how'd you enter that? I'm sure that was a big decision and a bit of a career pivot for you.
Yep.
So tell me about that journey up.
So being in data, that was the core for me. So I have been all along working on a different perspective, like being into consulting, being into sales, and I've also been running global teams for data science and data engineering in my past as an SI. And that actually brought me into how data works, and it gave me a better understanding of what companies are looking forward. But I also have an interest in crypto, where I've invested crypto for the last 4 years. And so when I got an opportunity working on a crypto company, that actually triggered my interest, and that's how I landed up in Token Metrics.
Nice. Well, that's a good pivot into the question. Two-part question. So let's answer the first one. What does Token Metrics do? Why does it exist as a business?
So Token Metrics is there for nearly around 2.5, 3 years. And we actually service customers who are looking into jumping into crypto. So we are more like an educational platform or a research platform where we provide all the insights about every token in the market. So we tell the customers how the market trends, whether it's going bullish or bearish, so we look into the volatility indicators and so forth. As well as we support around 10,000 plus tokens in our platform. So for each and every token, we actually do some long-term strategy and a short-term strategy where we look into the fundamentals, the technical analysis, the on-chain data, sentiment data, quantitative analytics. So this gives you a perspective for every investor or a customer. What token should I invest? Is it worth it to invest or not? And also based on this, we create grades, and we have a grade called Token Metrics Grade, TM Grade, where we give the ratings for all the tokens, which actually tells you, is it the right to invest right now or not, to hold it, to sell it, to buy it. So we give all those details, a deep dive for every customer, so that you as a customer or an investor will be able to smartly invest into the crypto space without just blindly doing that.
Nice. Tell me about who's the average user?
So we have retail customers. So we are really big in retail customers and recently moved into institutional clients. So we have like family offices, hedge fund companies, and all those people who are right now looking into our product from an institutional standpoint.
Great. So you joined what year?
I joined the Token Metrics last year.
Last year, great.
So and to be very specific, April last year.
April last year. And tell me about the first time Snowflake came on your radar as a potential solution for some of the big data challenges you were facing.
So Snowflake came into my radar back in 2018, where I used to work for an SI company, and I used to run the team of global analytics people and data science, and my role was to talk to customers, look into their architecture, and provide them with the right solution. And Snowflake at that point in time was the best solution for most of the customers because people were having silo data, they're having problems, and consolidation and collaboration, Snowflake did a good job. So I started implementing Snowflake solutions for lots of customers. That actually helped me when I moved into Token Metrics. So Token Metrics actually was in MySQL, they were not scaling well, and there were lots of issues. So it was a very good transition for me coming into Token Metrics and implementing Snowflake into Token Metrics, which really has done a fantastic job as of today.
So we were talking about this before the cameras went live. You tell me a bit about the evolution of Snowflake taking over the MySQL workloads that you guys were all facing. I'd love to hear about the evolution that you've seen in your tenure of Snowflake coming on and taking over more workloads.
So actually, I would say everybody has to be looking into a different strategy because you cannot fit everything in one. You need to take one step at a time.
Yeah.
And you need to look into one workload which works well and then look into the next workload and then evolve as it moves on. So in our case, we had both sets of data. We had JSON data, we had structural data. So the front-end team needed a JSON, the back-end data science needed more of a structured data. So Snowflake was a right fit for us so that you could have both JSON and structural data in one place. And as well as we had different teams. We had a software engineering, we had a data engineering, data science, and marketing, sales. So everybody need to use one single data. And so this became a very good place where you could consolidate huge volume of data for every workload.
That's great. And it's a smart way to think about having these conversations with each unit and each department within the company. So understanding some of the technical outcomes that have happened since onboarding Snowflake, I'm curious about some of the business outcomes that have occurred since winning over Snowflake. What positive business outcomes have you seen since the change?
So right now we are able to provide the better insights from a crypto standpoint because we are able to bring data from a near real-time basis and do analytics on the fly. So we are able to get a better data set with a huge volume because being in crypto, you need to have all the historical data for every token which we support. And Snowflake, able to store and scale up as quick as possible, we are now able to bring all the data all over the place and throw them into Snowflake, and now our analytical team are happier so that they could run through their models across all the data sets and come up with the better patterns.
That's great. This was a fun question we brought up before we went live, but if you had one piece of advice for somebody doing what you were doing day one, bringing Snowflake into Token Metrics, what would that advice be?
So I would say start with an open mind because you cannot fit everything from your legacy systems all in one place. So you need to actually structure yourself and strategize it and build a roadmap so that you need to know which workload works best and then build upon that so that it's evolving and one step at a time works well.
That's great. Where is the Token Metrics platform going in the next 1-2 years? What are you excited about?
I'm really excited about Token Metrics because, as I did mention, we do support more than 10,000 tokens right now from a crypto space. And we are looking into NFTs, which is the next evolution of the crypto digital assets. And next quarter, we are planning to introduce the complete rating and dashboard for NFTs as well. So Token Metrics will be a one-stop shop where people can come in, do a research on crypto, do a research on NFTs, and then build their portfolio and compare our ratings, which will tell you whether is it how to maintain it, and which one to buy, which one to sell. And so it gives you a complete portfolio overlook, a 360 view of what you can do from a digital asset standpoint.
That's fascinating. And tell me a bit about the engineering team that you oversee. Like, how has it grown since you started April last year?
It's been pretty challenging, but it has grown very well because crypto being a very fast pace, so it's very hard for people to scale up to that level because when you talk about engineering, they're very skilled from a technical standpoint, but when it comes to the domain, that's where the challenge comes in. But I've seen my team scale up pretty well, both from a functional standpoint as well as from a technological standpoint, and if not, we would have not got this better product which we have today.
Certainly. So if you think about some of the users of Token Metrics, especially for the individuals that are using, I'm curious, what do you think the feature they love most is? What do they love most about the platform?
The most they love is the ratings.
Yeah.
Because we give the ratings and we also build index like a stock market. So we build index for every exchange. So what we do is we look into exchange and we'll tell them what coins are doing best based on our gradings. and you could do a short-term trading like a daily, weekly, monthly, and if you're a day trader, you could look into that, and we would provide suggestions, and then you could take the suggestions and buy and sell in your exchange whichever you want.
Nice. That's exciting. All right, well, I got to download it, and if you want to download it out there, we got a good discount for you. Snow TM40, 40% off the individual subscription for the year. Veera, I can't thank you enough for joining us today. It was really fun, and appreciate the audience as well. So thanks all.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, and thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. Take care.